3, 2, 1. Lift off. Wow. 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 There's glass here. There's glass here. Do you see the stars? Wow. Ahoy mateys, welcome back to another Captain Patriot video. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Today we are taking a look at Katy Perry and the crew of they're all astronauts, allegedly, apparently.
Pop singer Katy Perry is officially an astronaut.
Katy! Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
I guess that word doesn't mean anything anymore. And, you know, after this stunt, honestly, I think that word has less value than it once did. Okay, being an astronaut now, unfortunately, you're going to kind of be tied to this situation, okay? So Katy Perry and a bunch of these other goons went to space, okay? They went and did it's like a publicity stunt, and Katy Perry brought a flower up to space with her, because her daughter's name is Daisy. So I guess that's sweet, you know, but she also brought 300 bracelets up to space. She brought her merch up to space so that she could say that it was space merch. It's merch that creates space. It's been to space. She makes a lot of space. She's got a lot of space between her ears.
We modeled and replicate that and understand that we weren't just taking up space, we were making space for the future.
You know, all the space. She's got all the space, and she is using her platform to basically shill out for Jeff Bezos. Okay. She's basically a glorified spokesperson now for Jeff Bezos to try and get more people to buy tickets to go up to space, right? This was, if anything, this was an advertisement, okay? Just like they do with Super Bowl ads, you get famous people all together, you put them into a Super Bowl ad to try and sell your product.
Hey, Meta, play my gallery music. Hey, Meta, translate that.
Which one of you is real?
It's a lovely home you have.
How do you like my art collection?
This is the same thing, okay? This isn't any different. The only difference is this is targeted towards really wealthy people who have a little bit too much money, who can afford to do this sort of thing. But realistically, I think it's extremely wasteful. We're not like necessarily doing anything productive by doing these trips, and yet everyone wants to claim, oh, you know, Katy Perry is the type of person to claim, oh, I care about the earth, I care about the environment, so let me hop on this giant rocket into space for 15 minutes, and then I'll talk about how I'm an astronaut now, and you should respect me more because I'm an astronaut now. Even though she's not, she didn't train to be an astronaut, she didn't grow up striving to be an astronaut, it was never one of her ambitions. She's good at what she does. Her art isn't necessarily for me, but she's good at what she does, as is obvious by how many people support her. However, for her to even attempt to claim that she is an astronaut, in my opinion, devalues the word, right? It devalues the amount of effort and work put in by actual astronauts to do what they do, okay? And you know, I don't think someone who has money should just be able to buy a title. But when it comes to actual titles, I don't think you should be able to buy yourself a title. I don't think you buying a ticket on a train ride makes you a conductor, okay? I don't like, and I know some people are gonna be like, oh, you know, she's just a quirky girl. She's just saying quirky things. But in reality, you're devaluing what it means to be an astronaut, okay? And anyone who goes on this trip and says, I'm an astronaut now because I went to space, is devaluing the word, in my opinion. I think this is more of a stunt to try and sell tickets than it is of actually talking about her experience. I think this is an excuse for her to try and make money. And I think that's one of my big complaints, is that like it comes across extremely disingenuous. It comes across as almost like greater than thou, because of the way they're talking about their experience in space. Oh, I'm creating space for women now. I'm doing this for women. I'm such a good person because I did this thing by going to space and taking a Daisy up there, and, you know, look at me, right? It's like, it seems very performative. It seems very disingenuous. It doesn't feel like That money could have been better spent actually educating girls about science and getting more girls interested in science, getting more girls interested in space exploration, or in any sort of STEM field, really. But instead, it's really just, it's about her, right? It's about Katy Perry. It's about the other women who went on the journey.
Like Gail said, this wasn't a ride, it wasn't a destination. It was a journey, and it was a supernatural one.
Whatever you want to call it. And it just feels like as a whole, society has kind of looked at this and rightfully called it what it is, which is stupid. If you're new here, this is where I go sailing out on the sea of stupidity. So you're going to find a lot of stupid people here on this channel, okay? Including me. But either way, I'm the type of person who would do this. Okay, this is something, if I had the money to do, like money to just blow, I would do it. Like, I'm not going to lie, I would do it. It sounds fun, okay? But I'm not going to come down and act like I'm an astronaut. I'm not going to come down to Earth and be like kissing the ground. I'm not going to come down to like as if I've been gone for a long time. I'm like, this is okay. I don't know if this is the same, but it seems similar to like when people like they get a little bit of turbulence during a flight, and then when the plane lands, all the white people clap. It's kind of like that. I don't know. Okay, maybe that's not a fair comparison, but for some reason, Katy Perry reminds me of those people. The clapping after a little bit of turbulence on the airplane. Okay. Yeah, this is where we're at now, where we look at these people and we see someone to look up to, and I think we shouldn't. I don't think these are people we should be looking up to. I don't think they're the people, especially when it comes to space exploration, should be taken seriously, especially if they're going to do the disservice to all the real astronauts by calling themselves astronauts. I think that's my big complaint. I think that's my big issue, is trying to co-opt a title because of that title's prestige, of which being an astronaut is extremely prestigious. That's like, if you get your private pilot's license and not even that. If you go up for your first lesson, and the guy gives you the yoke, right, you're flying an airplane and you fly for 5 minutes and then you give it back to the other guy. It's like you coming down and saying you're a fighter pilot, right? Like, it's like, yeah, no, no. It's just, I don't know. The stupidity grows. It's ever growing. The waves are crashing over the boat, and I'm looking out in search of intelligent life. But what gets highlighted, right? What gets highlighted and pushed out, and what the news constantly talks about, is very rarely the people who deserve to be talked about, right? The people who have something intelligent to say, the people who think differently, the people who are not just following a trend because it's trendy. And I think, one of the sad things I see about all this stuff is that like people have lost their ability to be critical, because being critical requires some degree of picking apart something, right? So you can't be critical and kind, really. Like you can be polite in how you voice your criticism, but in no way, in my opinion, is criticism able to work in tandem with kindness, because you're going to have to hurt someone's feelings, and being kind, your objective typically is to not hurt the person's feelings. And sometimes I think, we need to do as a society a better job at calling out stupid things and stupid people when we see them. My last video, I got a lot of hate over my iDubbbz content, and a lot of people were really upset about what I had to say about iDubbbz. I think iDubbbz was being extremely hypocritical. I think him making a content cop video after him disavowing his own content and deleting it from his page, only to go inside with people like Hassan, who platformed a terrorist, Frogan, Denims, and like, to do that after denouncing your content, it paints a very bleak picture for iDubbbz, right? And I was trying to point to the hypocrisy, but boy, oh boy, man, people were not happy with what I had to say. So, but in that case, it's like I was looking for people to be critical, and there was maybe a handful of comments that were actually critical about my content, which, that's the nice thing, is like those very few critical comments is nice to see, because it does show that there are some people out there with the mental capacity to be critical, it's just not very common. You don't see it very often. I think too often we try to be nice rather than intelligent, rather than truthful and honest, right? We want to be nice to people rather, like we as a society collectively choose that option instead of the truthful option, because the truth is usually what makes people upset. It's usually what causes people's feelings to be hurt or people to get emotional. And I think that to me is like where society has gone wrong. Back in the day, I mean, people would have told you straight up what they thought about you. And, you know, people, you know, they do the kind, polite thing and they lie to your face, right? They lie to you, and sometimes they'll go talk shit behind your back. But most of the time they're just lying straight to your face, and you'll never know what they actually think about you, which is sad, because it's like, you know, a lot of relationships are built off of lies that way. You know, if you're never telling your friend what you truly think, how close of a friend are they really? Like, can you really call them a close friend if you can't be honest with them? You know, and I think we're a little too kind with these celebrities when they start pushing nonsense. Okay, when they start shoving nonsense down our throat, I want to be mean. Okay, or at least be a little more honest with them about what we think about them. And obviously they're going to have some hurt feelings about it, but I also think, you know, if you have a massive platform like that, you should be trying to be truthful and not some, like, I don't know, not some caricature of like someone who believes in crystals and rocks and zodiac signs and rubbing milk on your forehead or something. I don't know what they do. Okay, rubbing their rocks on their elbows or something like that. So that's what I think, and hopefully some of you agree. But if not, drop a hate comment down below letting me know specifically why you disagree with what I'm saying. Okay, don't come here and start throwing insults thinking you got me. Okay, just leave a comment down below why. Okay, I need like a reason. Because you guys did not do a very good job in my last video doing that, so do better. I'm gonna make space for you down in the comments below for you to be hateful, but also like give me a good insult, but also give me a reason for why you disagree. Okay, that's the deal. But yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Take care, enjoy the rest of your day. Bye-bye.